Hi, this is Lawrence from Atkin Guitars. Today we're going to talk about adjusting a truss rod in one of our acoustics. Okay, so here we have, it's actually Chris that works here. It's his staff guitar. It's a few years old now. Things have moved and there's quite a lot of relief in the neck. So the best way to check your relief is by holding down at the 1st fret and the 12th fret, and you touch around the 6th fret like that. Okay, so this area, and ideally we're looking for something like 5 or 6 thousandths of an inch. You can use a feeder gauge if you like for that. I generally eyeball it, and where we pleck our guitars we actually have more relief on the low E than we do on the high E, so it's best to check just the high E, and if you do check the low E you'll notice that there's more relief there, and that's called compound relief, and that's all part of the way we make our guitars. So you can pretty much eyeball it till you just get the tiniest amount you can see. Obviously it depends how young your eyes are. Mine aren't as young as they used to be, so I'm probably going to get the feeder gauges out pretty much any day now. Anyway, so it's a 4mm Allen key. You can use things like this from Stuart McDonald, very cool. For most models that's about the right one. So the Allen key, or hex bolt, whatever it is 4mm, so you want one of those. So it's right in the neck. So I'm just going to grab a neck and show you. So the truss rod is right in the end of the neck here, so you can see the 2 bolts because there's a bolt on the neck, and here is the truss rod with the 4mm adjustment. So here I have a neck block, so if you look inside your guitar you will kind of see these 2 holes with covers on, and there's this hole, and that goes in there like that. So that's kind of what you're looking at, and you could just get your smartphone and pop it in the sound hole and have a look, take a picture, or you can use a little mirror if you want to get an idea of what's going on there. And you might be asking, why don't we just make it easily adjustable like, you know, like other guitar companies do? And obviously we're going for a vintage thing here. We could do it at the headstock end, but that removes wood at a really weak point on the guitar, a vulnerable point, so we don't want to do that. You can cut a hole in the sound hole brace or the main brace. Again, cutting holes in braces it makes it easier to adjust, but it's nicer if you don't have to do that. And once you know how, it's really not much of a pain to do. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. So first off, you're going to want to loosen your strings. You can take them all the way off if you want to, but a really good loosen is all that's really needed. Again, a guitar with an aged finish, especially one that's been played as much as Chris's, you don't have to be super careful. But obviously if it's brand new, or if you're doing it for a customer's guitar, if you're a setup guy, obviously you want to be a bit more careful than this. But normal, you can just pop those to one side, and there's nice slack thing there going on. So our favourite one is just this small one here, and you just want to get that inside the guitar like that, and you'll find the nut. So this actually needs to be tightened up, so I can get it in there. It's in, and about a 1/4 turn is all you should need. So what does that mean? So from there to there, that kind of turn goes a long way on a truss rod like this. So get those back in the grooves. Okay, so that's pretty much up to tension, and we can do our check again, and that's nice. I would say that's just about perfect like that, and if we go to check the action, it's completely back on spec. So this was set up for 2.5mm on the bass at the 12th fret and 2mm on the treble, and it's just gone back to that exactly. That's how it goes. You can use these ones. So that will go in the sound hole, it will go around that main brace or sound hole brace, as I mentioned, and then you can get in like this. And this one you can do with it all together like this, but it's a bit fiddly. The other one is this one, which has got a ball end. So this should go in, and you can just about find it. Yeah, I can feel it there. Again, a nice short normal Allen key, and get your hand right in there is the best way to go. If you've got a dreadnought sized or one of our J43s, that works quite well. Again, you want a longer one for a 12 fret guitar. Get your phone, take a picture, see what you're dealing with, and use one of these and you'll be just fine. Okay, hope that was helpful. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be great. Thanks very much.